Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video, we are going to be talking about an absolutely beautiful foliage plant called as the Philodendron Pink Princess. I'll put up the botanical name. Now this plant is at the top of many plant collectors' wish list, and it's for a good reason. Characterized by its deep green heart-shaped leaves with this beautiful bubblegum pink variegation. But please do not get confused this plant with the Philodendron Pink Congo. The variegation of Pink Princess is stable as it occurs due to the natural process, whereas the Pink Congo variegation is a result of chemicals that are injected into the leaves. So Pink Congo was a very big scam, so a lot of people did fall into the trap and eventually ended up having a plant that turned green in color. So now let's get back to the Philodendron Pink Princess, which is an absolute beautiful plant. It has been on my wish list for a very long time. Now, as I said, the Pink Princess is from the family of Araceae and it is a perennial plant. The mature size can grow anywhere from 2 to 4 feet tall and 2 to 4 feet wide. Soil pH preferred is acidic and it is native to the South America, basically native to the Colombia. Now the Pink Princess Philodendron is a tropical aroid. Despite its high price tag, this colorful plant is actually pretty easy to care for. That being said, there are few key things to keep in mind to ensure that you are maximizing the amount of variegation on the leaves. So let's start off with the most important thing, that is light, because light plays a very important role. Providing your Pink Princess with enough light is the most important factor influencing the amount of variegation it will have. Choose a location that receives good amount of indirect bright light. When you are growing it indoor, ensure you're keeping it near a windowsill where it gets a good amount of indirect bright light, but the sun does not directly fall onto the leaves, otherwise the leaves will get damaged. If you're growing it indoor, ensure you're not keeping it under the air conditioning vent or the heater, because that will again damage the leaves. Now, if you do not have a location in your home that receives enough light, you will have to buy a grow light in order to keep this plant with that good amount of variegation. Without enough light, the Pink Princess leaves will quickly begin to revert back to green in color and it is going to lose all that beautiful stunning variegation. And that's the reason why you have purchased the plant, because of variegation. So ensure that you're giving a good amount of light. Now let's talk a little bit in detail about the soil. Now the soil remains the same what I use for my other plants, which is a mix of coco peat, garden soil, sand and perlite. They prefer a loose, porous and well-draining soil, which should be very airy. They like slight moisture in the soil but not soggy wet soil. So ensure the container, the pot, whatever you have been using should have a drain hole so that the excess water can drain out. Now talking about watering, allow the top half of the soil to dry out between waterings and then water well. Please do not let your plant sit in a soggy wet soil, that will lead to a root rot. It is far easier to overwater your Pink Princess than to underwater it. So if you are unsure about whether it needs water or not, ensure that you just touch the upper layer of soil. If you feel that it is almost dry, it's time to go ahead and water your plant. Now talking about temperature and humidity, as I said, it is a tropical plant. It prefers a warmer environment and a good amount of humidity. This plant will do quite well in warm, humid conditions, although typical household temperature and humidity levels are fine for these plants. But if you are from a place which is extremely dry, then using a humidifier would work out really well. Now the temperatures that they prefer is anywhere between 18 degrees Celsius up to 34 degrees Celsius is going to work out really well. Now talking about fertilizers during its growing season, which is summers, that is right now. If you want to add any fertilizers, you can go with any liquid based fertilizer. Organic fertilizers are going to be the best thing. I tend to use my compost tea once every month during the summer season. But during winters, do not add any fertilizers, reduce your watering, because most of the philodendrons tend to slow down their growth or go into partial dormancy. Now talking about propagation, it's the same thing. You have those nodes that with the aerial roots, you'll have to cut them below the nodes. I already have made a video on how to propagate a philodendron. I'll put the link in the description below because it is the same process. Now talking about pest issues and plant disease, yes, this plant does get affected with mealybugs, aphids, spider mites, scale insects. So ensure that you're doing a routine check once a week or once in 2 weeks. Always check the underneath of the leaves. If you tend to see any kind of bugs, always go for any organic solution. Try to treat the infestation at an early stage in order to have your healthy growth of your plant. Now, talking about, is this plant toxic? Yes, philodendrons are toxic, so ensure that you're keeping it out from the reach of small children and pets. Other than that, it's a very easy to grow plant. As I said, the most important thing is to give a good amount of light. The reason you have purchased this plant is because of that beautiful pink variegation. If you want that to be more often on the leaves, then give a good amount of indirect bright light. If you are going to keep this plant in less light or low light conditions, there can be a couple of problems. One, and the most important thing, the variegation will be faded off. There will be a lot of green leaves. Apart from that, there could be issue of stretching. There could be stunt growth and a lot of problems. The leaves will also be very small if you're going to keep it in a less light condition. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.